hits you, you're going to get blood poisoning or something else. It's going to be, I hated it. That was one of the worst things I had to do.
Across the annals of history, tales of danger and bravery abound. The firefighters of Rome under Augustus, the early astronauts daring the mystery of space, the deep sea divers exploring the ocean's crushing depths, and many more. Yet, nestled within these countless narratives of danger is a tale of stark terror and unyielding courage. The tale of the tunnel rats of the Vietnam War. A chapter that vividly encapsulates what might have been the most dangerous job in the world. The Vietnam War was a tumultuous chapter of the 20th century, a chilling manifestation of the Cold War tensions that gripped the world. Sparked in 1955, it was a grisly conflict between North and South Vietnam, fueled by international forces, polarized by ideology. The Communist North, aided by its allies like the Soviet Union and China, engaged in a bloody confrontation against the South, staunchly supported by anti-communist powers, notably the United States. The war took a unique turn with the strategic utilization of the Vietnamese landscape by the Vietcong, the guerrilla force of the North. They carved out an elaborate network of tunnels in the dense jungles, transforming the terrain into a formidable stronghold. These tunnels were the veins and arteries of the Vietcong, housing troops, transporting supplies, offering refuge, and serving as launch pads for surprise attacks. When the conventional aerial and artillery strategies of the United States failed to neutralize these underground fortresses, a new approach was needed. The tunnel rats were born. A special breed of soldiers whose unmatched courage was matched only by the chilling danger they confronted each day. The tunnel rats were a voluntary force comprised mainly of Americans, Australians, and New Zealanders. These were not your typical soldiers. They were smaller, wiry, and endowed with an extraordinary level of mental fortitude.
Before entering a tunnel, recon personnel must have the equipment they need to do the job. A powerful flashlight in good condition and with fresh batteries, and a probe, such as a bayonet, is a must. So is a protective mask and a hand weapon.
Their arsenal was as unique as their task: a .45 caliber pistol, sometimes a bayonet, and a flashlight. Automatic weapons and explosives were a rarity, for their size and noise risked fatal tunnel collapses and lethal encounters with those who would be signaled by their noise. A typical mission for a tunnel rat was a plunge into darkness, a journey into the unknown. Crawling on their hands and knees, they would navigate the cramped, pitch-black tunnel network, armed with nothing but their senses, intuition, and limited weaponry. Their task was to recon, disarm booby traps, eliminate enemy soldiers, and, on occasion, facilitate the destruction of key sections of the tunnel system. As they edged forward in the stifling claustrophobia, they faced a myriad of terrors. The tunnels were littered with deadly traps, grenades, punji stick pits, scorpions, spiders, and snakes. Moreover, the Vietcong soldiers lurked in hidden recesses, ready for lethal close-quarters combat. Let's take a deeper look into the traps used. Among the most feared was the punji trap. A concealed pit dug into the belly of the tunnel was lined with sharpened bamboo sticks, punji sticks, often smeared with feces or poison to increase the chances of infection. As the unsuspecting tunnel rat moved forward, he could plummet into the pit, the cruel spikes ripping into the flesh and bone. The grenade trap was a lesson in savage simplicity. A grenade with its pin pulled was placed inside a hollowed-out piece of bamboo and held in place by a simple twig. Disturb the twig, and you initiate a deadly countdown. The flash of realization would barely have time to register before the tunnel was consumed by a lethal burst of shrapnel and fire. Other traps were mere psychological in terror. The snake and scorpion traps utilized the venomous inhabitants of the Vietnamese jungles. Snakes, usually branded crates or bamboo vipers, were placed within hollow sections of the tunnel walls. As the tunnel rat brushed past, the snake would strike, injecting its lethal venom. The fear of such an unexpected attack would often be as crippling as the venom itself. They even had to contend with tripwire-activated crossbows, collapsing tunnel sections, and even concealed Vietcong soldiers ready to engage in brutal, point-blank combat. Each moment within the tunnels was a horrifying game of Russian roulette, the stakes being life and limb. As these brave soldiers crawled through the darkness, their senses were heightened to an almost supernatural level. The softest scrape, the faintest click, the slightest shift in the tunnel's earthen perfume could be the only warning before disaster struck. Every moment was calculated, every breath measured, as they edged forward, knowing that death could be waiting around the next bend, beneath the next step, or behind the next wall. The psychological burden was tormenting, as they battled fear, isolation, and the constant threat of a grisly death. Survival was a bleak prospect. Some reports suggest a survival rate of less than 50%, a chilling testament to the lethal nature of their duty. Yet these brave souls pressed on, venturing into the abyss, day in and day out, driven by an extraordinary sense of duty and courage. The end of the tunnel rat's harrowing journey came with the cessation of the Vietnam War in 1975. Today, the tunnels stand as an eerie tourist attraction, drawing in visitors keen on understanding the harsh realities of war. Yet, for the surviving tunnel rats, these hollowed earth veins are portals to a past where they dared the most dangerous job in the world: the chilling silence, the lurking darkness, the pressing claustrophobia, and the sudden, visceral combat. Like the video? Don't forget to subscribe and check out some more top content from our channel.